CX is a way of life.
Hi guys.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well.
Good to see you. Are you feeling as hot as I am this afternoon?
Things are hot.
But the idea is to make this cool and fun.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm so excited to have you guys today for the ICX Roundtable conversation. The space is nice. The vibe is good.
Yes.
The guests are dope. So I'm looking forward to a fun time.
Yes.
But before we begin, I guess our audience would want to know who you are and what you do, all right, and why we are here today. So, ladies first, I believe. Amma?
It depends. You know, there's another saying, ladies fast and the men eat. So it depends on which fast it is.
No.
But for sure, if it's fast, then
Ladies fast and men eat.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
Good, thank you. My name is Diane Korir. I currently serve at Britam as the Director for Customer Experience, Brand and Marketing. Really enjoying my time there. And of course, looking forward to these discussions of Mission Possible. Customer Service Week is one of my favorite times of the year. Yes.
Great. I mean, thank you and glad to have you here. I have known you for a long time. And guys, she's the real deal. She knows what she's talking about. And really amazing how even the insurance companies are now showing up in the CX conversation. So, so happy to have you this afternoon. And now the gentleman.
Oh, thank you. First, thank you for having us here and for having me here. Such a pleasure to be in such a wonderful forum. Yeah. My name is Micheu. Njiru, I had to say that slowly because I've been called Michelle, Mich, but it's Micheu. Njiru, in short, you can just call me Mich.
Yes.
Njiru, I serve as the Director for Customer Excellence for the KCB group.
Yes.
And also very passionate about customer excellence and matters customers.
Yes.
And that's why on the sideline, people call me the CX doc. Or the customer excellence doctor for preventive, diagnostic, everything to do with customer health.
Oh, perfect. Mich, I'm so excited because we are bringing all our diseases to you today as a doctor. Looking forward to interacting with you today. And my name is Sheila Bundi. I'm the head of customer experience, ABSA Bank. Passionate about customer experience as well, and feeling really comfortable and excited to be in this space talking about Customer Service Week. And even the theme for this year is really, really exciting. But before we even start on the theme, Mich, what does Customer Service Week mean to you?
You know, it spans from so far, you know, when you talk of even Customer Service Week in terms of where it started back in the US quite some time back. And it started off actually as a time to celebrate people who are on the front line, delivering service, you know, to the respective organizations that they are in. But beyond the global celebration that has been going on and continually is celebrated across the globe, for me, it is actually a time to celebrate and to bring forth the CX agenda to the business. And CX Week for me is not just about the division, because one big pitfall that we've been falling into is that CX is a division. But for me, it is a time to celebrate the entire organization and everybody who touches on a customer.
Right.
It serves more like a reminder, you know, it's to boost awareness of why are we doing business? Who has brought us to do business? If I walk into a branch, I'm not a ticket. The customer is not a ticket. Sometimes we see tickets. Your IT sees technology, they don't see the face behind the technology. There is a call, we don't think who's behind the call.
Right.
So really is to bring that awareness to the front that we are all called to serve. And that's why even Diane mentioned that she serves that, and I have the same, I follow the same scripture because we are being called actually to serve.
Yeah.
And it is also a time for us to tell our customers or reassure our customers of our resolve and commitment to be there for them.
Right.
So it starts with a week, yes, but this should be something that we live every day.
Yeah.
But the same way you have a birthday, there is that one time you have a milestone to sort of bring out the candles, the pop, and just the celebration. So really it's to celebrate the organization and rally everybody towards serving the customer. That's what it means to me in so many words.
Wow, no. I mean, you've painted the true picture, and it's important that, Diane, we get to appreciate the work that some people have put in pushing the CX agenda, not just within our organization, but across, the different businesses, but also the country. And I've known Mich for long as well, as we all have. So I think if there's someone who can paint the picture of where the journey that we've had from, when we were ICS, actually even before then, to, building this whole platform to even today where we can have such a conversation. There is a lot to appreciate and applaud actually for the people who started this journey. And of course, some of us then joined, and we are looking forward to even having many more join us and make this a whole huge thing, right? So work has gone in, and I personally want to thank you and those who went before us, and the ones who are here and the ones who are to come,
Yes.
That is how we look at the future, the now and the past, right?
Yeah, true.
Now, Diane, I also know how passionate you are about customer experience. And every year we have themes. I don't know if you're like me, where you look forward to the theme. You can't wait. Because more and more it's becoming creative, out of the box thinking, pushing us the boundaries. So even as the head of customer experiences and directors, it's making us think outside the box, and I love it.
Yes.
So then the theme for this year came out. And we know what the theme is, but I will give you an opportunity to tell us what the theme is.
Yes.
And how you resonate with it as an organization, but also personally in your CX journey. Yeah,
absolutely. I think, as I said, the CS week is one of my most favorite times of the year. I think second to the Christmas and the New Year is the CS week. And I always look forward to what the next theme is. In fact, the moment that the CS week is done for this year, I've already booked the calendars for the following year, because, the dates are obvious as we wait for the theme. So the theme this year is Mission Possible. And I think it's an excellent theme and very timely. And it resonates to me in many ways, from a personal perspective and even an industry perspective, market perspective, and of course, organizationally at Britam. My journey personally has transformed over time, and I have seen the ability of the CX agenda move from impossible to possible. And I know we'll talk about some of the challenges that we have faced a little bit later. But in my journey, which is over 20 years working with the customers, and in this particular market, about 10 years or so, I have seen how we have moved from times where CX was not an agenda even at the leadership level, to the point where we do have board discussions and board committees today that are talking specifically about CX.
Right.
So this theme resonates very, very well with me at a personal level. At an organizational level, even at Britam, is really looking at where we have come from. At Britam, we discuss customer issues at every level. And it is one of the few organizations that I know that also has a customer experience board committee, which reports into the holding committee. And so there's always a customer agenda at every level of the organization, all the way to the board. From simplifying claims to setting strategies to serving customers across the 7 countries that we are present in. We have seen customer experience then move from that impossible to things that are achievable. And why? Because we are constantly putting the customer at the center of everything that we do, coupling it with empathy, with tech and innovation, and of course resilience, to relentlessly always have the customer and making every decision surrounded or around the customer itself. Mission Possible is something that you have to not give up on, right? For anything that you're doing with regards to the customer simply means that you have to be resilient and you have to continue pushing. When I joined the CX profession here in Kenya, the first names that we had were Mich.
Something like a dinosaur now.
And I know we've walked that journey from banking, and now I'm here in insurance, and also beginning to really just pivot the insurance industry into that customer first. And we'll be seeing a lot that will begin to happen and mimic what has been happening in the banking industry. Especially just getting feedback and listening to customers. And that is what I want for the insurance industry. It is a mission that is possible, and we will be seeing insurance, where insurance has really had a challenge with when it comes to trust, and really serving customers. It's a very complex industry, and it's well regulated, but we are very analog in many ways. And so there's a lot of leaps that we need to go and jump through in order to get to where the banking industry has come. But I do believe, once again, that it is a mission that is possible.
Yeah. And I mean, that is a really positive attitude. And the one thing you'll see insurance companies are now doing is also hiring outside of the insurance industry, because they are keen and want to incorporate some of these skills, like from bankers, and I've seen a lot of that, which is a good thing.
Yes.
And as you've described, that even having a CX conversation at board level, that is something that seemed impossible before. That is a possibility.
Yes.
And you're leading the way there, and it's a good example for most of us in the CX space to also appreciate that it's possible and it can be done. But you've mentioned something that is critical, and truth. It's not easy as it sounds. When you hear some of these conversations, you think it's a PowerPoint presentation you present and then things turn around. No, it's not easy. There are challenges that we face as CX practitioners in implementing some of the initiatives. Even as we talk about Mission Possible, Mich, I know there are some things you've had to go through, challenges that then you overcame. So please share with us a couple of things that you've had to navigate and then made the impossible possible.
Wow. How long do we have for this podcast? Are we here till maybe next week?
I want to start taking notes.
Because I can start writing a book on challenge.
Yes. That's
books
why
on challenges. A lot of challenges, I think, start from mindset. I mean, having journeyed, the one thing is accepting CX as a profession, and accepting CX as the bedrock of any service, anything that we do. I've come from a space where there was no CX at all in this country. The closest that we had on CX were receptionists. Receive the call, smiling, transfer the call.
Yes.
That was it. Then the advent of telcos is actually what brought a sense of customer service or customer care at the time to fore. whereby now call centers were being birthed. You can remember the Ken calls.
You
can remember Ken Cell, which was, I had the opportunity to serve there, one of the first contact centers. And then Safaricom came in. So the telcos really helped revolutionize, I think, service in this country. And slowly people started adapting. You started realizing the power of the customer.
Yeah.
Because at that time, remember, you've brought in new technology. You've brought in cell phones. We had never used cell phones. The only person who had used a cell phone was the elite. One set cost about 280,000 shillings. You had to go to a building called Ex-Telecom's house for them to customize it.
Yeah.
There was nothing like a SIM card. Then all of a sudden, now you've brought in this new technology. You've brought in SIM cards, and then you've brought in now the phone, and tell guys now call. What happens? These guys had to go to a certain point to be educated.
Right.
So the call center or the customer service as it started then was more of educating people. How do I use a cell phone? How do I dial? How do I save my number on the phone?
Yeah.
You might be laughing, but it was not that obvious. Actually, people had to sit and educate. And that's why we had to hire hundreds of people to talk to these people who are now onboarding as customers, to show them, to teach them. Yeah. And that's how CX started getting birthed now, that they are there to show you possibilities, to unleash maybe, the potential that you have maybe on the cell phone or whatever it is that you have. And other industries started following suit. They realized that once you have a customer, you need to serve the customer somewhat. Yeah. So they started now having contact center. They created retail spaces. Banking halls, you can see how banking halls are looking today. That's very new. You'll be very shocked that having seats in a banking hall is less than 15 years old in this country.
Wow.
Yeah. One institution, we tried to do that and they said you'll encourage thieves to come and sit and watch as they transact. Yeah, imagine it was that bad because it was about banking, is about coming, queue. In fact, the banking halls would open, the doors would open and people will run straight to the teller. It was chaos. It was chaos. But then customer excellence is about dignifying the lives of those you are serving. So putting a seat, putting order, putting a queuing system, was an impossibility back in the no one could envision. Yeah. Actually, even there's a time the bank supervisor used to stand on crates and call numbers or token numbers for you to go and be served. We would shower and go with our parents to the bank. It was an event.
It was an event.
It was an event to nenda benki.
Before 3 p.m.
Before 3 p.m. Yeah, and when that door closes, that's it.
Yes.
You have no one to call. There is nothing like call center to call and say these are the issues that I want. There is nothing like ATMs. ATMs came a lot much later. So when the bank shuts, your life shuts. Impossibilities that were made possible by the people who are there now serving, and that recognition that the customer really is important, in terms of their lives. And that evolution is going on even now. I'm not saying we're there. And that's why institutes like ICX started, so as you can push the agenda of the importance of the customers even into the boardrooms. And I'm happy with my sister here when it's discussed in the boardroom. That is powerful because it has to start there. And it has to be a mindset thing, as I said. And I have a saying. It's very controversial, and I don't know. It's very interesting. It's very interesting that I'm saying it during Customer Service Week. I might be quoted world over. I always say the customer is not always right. We always say the customer is right. For me, I say no. The customer is not always right. The customer has rights. Customer is not always right, but the customer has rights.
Yes.
Rights to dignity, rights to being.
Let's make sure that we don't just cut to where it says the customer is not right. With this digital, we must be very...
Watu wa media.
He said the customer is not always right, but the customer has rights.
There's a big difference about that.
Yeah.
Because what happens is that when we say the customer is always right, organizations try and bend rules and bend everything to give the customer what they want. Whereas sometimes it's probably not what should be happening. You get me?
Yeah.
A no is a good answer, you know, even in customer excellence stuff. But it's how you deliver.
It's how you deliver
the
for
no.
sure.
But the customer has rights. The customer has a right to be treated fairly. A customer has rights to good service. A customer has the right to good products. And that's why I always say customer excellence actually is a basic human need. Yeah, that's how it should be placed. And the moment we put that in, even as organizations, then we'll step back and now put ourselves in the shoes of the customers when we are doing products, when we are serving, when we're developing technology, you know, all that, it will be on the face of customer first. A lot of us do stuff from what works for the organization and put it and say, we'll educate this customer, they will take it up from there. So that's where that analogy comes from. So in terms of challenges, yes, you have, those are the challenges that I have seen. A lot of executive buy-in not there in many organizations. A lot of friends that I know out here in the profession are struggling to bring CX to the table. When you look at the department itself, it is hidden somewhere in layers of other departments. Whereas it should be on the table, being the voice of the customer. So it is possible. We have moved miles, leaps and bounds, and excited about where the professions are driving it into.
The beauty of having someone who's seen this journey, just a story. You know, you just want to keep listening. And isn't it interesting to just think that 20 years down the line, what we are doing will be so backward. Like the next generation sitting here and saying, yes, they just had mobile phones and they had apps and they, you know, I mean, they were so backward. See where we are now. It's a continuous story of evolution.
And just a case in point, look at my bank, KCB. When you shut your eyes at some point and said KCB, you could almost visualize this KCB customer. You know, our grandparents, our fathers and mothers, that was the KCB customer. If I tell you today that the youth are the primary driver of a lot of our operations, then you'll be shocked. Looking at them now, they're on the app. Customers have never seen a branch. The stories I'm talking about are climbing on crates and going into a banking hall. They are looking and they're like, either you had too much time or, what was going on with your life? You don't have a life. Like telling my daughters, let's go into a banking hall.
They're like, no.
They look at me and they're like, what happens there? How does it even look like? You get. So just straight to your point in terms of generations.
Generational and generational.
And that we have to keep evolving.
We have to keep evolving. You know, listening to Mich, and as I said, one of the challenges I know growing and growing in the CX space was how do I position this in my organization? First of course, there's the confidence. First of all, to stand up and start talking about customer experience and see the value of service excellence and compete in the same way with someone who's talking business, someone who's talking technology, and sort of have the same audience. First of all, that is our whole conversation. That's a whole podcast that we must have after this. But even in getting stakeholders to buy into the customer experience agenda, there is a lot we can say around that topic. But Diane, from your experience, maybe a nugget or two to empower someone who's watching us, who's passionate about customer experience, but does not know where to start to begin, or is already practicing it, but they want to scale it up and involve the stakeholders who will then be willing to invest time, money, resources, everything. What advice can you give that person, even as we're talking about making the impossible possible?
That's a very emotive subject when in the CX space. Because obviously any time that there are cost discussions, budget discussions, the CX budget is one of the first ones to be cut. Yet the CX agenda is always at the top of every discussion. We are always talking organizations, we are putting customers first, think around the customer first mindsets, customer transformation, customer centricity. I mean, all of that is discussed in any strategy discussion, any business discussion. But when it comes to resourcing it, that's where the difference comes in. Yes, now you have to fight to be on the table. Having been in this space severally, and even up to today, you still have to make your case when it comes to CX. My advice to those who are starting off is, first of all, do not give up. I think it is something that is faced across, not only in this market, but markets overseas and whatnot. What you need to do is frame the CX not as a cost, right? But as an investment. Yeah. And how do you do that? Yeah, those are some of the things. If I don't even have the money to invest, as you're saying, then how do I start small? Right. Yeah, start small, and in sort of a phased implementation as well. Yeah, where you're piloting, then show the value, and then scale it. Right? Because if you try to ask for the big budget to go big, you have to begin to prove yourself, right? So that as you begin to show the value, then there's more investment into it and you're able to scale through as well. Link your CX initiatives and CX data into revenue, into retention, lifetime value, and then the brand strength as well. I think when leadership begins to connect what you're doing to the bottom line, buying comes naturally. Yeah. Put scorecards, CX scorecard on leadership scorecards as well. So when you have your NPS and your complaints resolution, show how it impacts the performance of the organization. When they begin to link that into their revenue and the performance of the organization, then the CX agenda begins to make sense at that point. Yeah. So I think that's where I would begin. Start small.
Yeah.
Pilot, prove the value, and then scale. As you connect the CX data or the CX initiatives into the overall business performance and especially the brand strength as well. Because CX, customer experience, has become the differentiator. Yeah. We've heard that a lot. It's not cliche. It is the real thing. Yeah.
That's true.
Because from organization to organization, we do know we offer the same thing, right? There might be some variance here, who goes to market first, etc. But at the end of the day, it's how you serve that customer. Yeah. How you serve that customer. And I like what he said, even linking it to that. Yeah, the customer is not always right, but the customer has rights. I think that's quite profound. So the customer has the right to good service. Yeah. Good service comes with an investment to it as well. And so we need to just get that buy-in so that it is well resourced so that the customer can get what they need.
Fantastic. Yeah. I mean, landed so clearly. What I also hear from you is the element of collaboration, right? To show value means I'm able to go to the different shops and work with business where you collaboration value, go to brands where we collaboration. So I'm actually also picking an element of collaboration there, which is really
absolutely. That's, I mean, CX, we don't work alone. In fact, we work through people.
It's true.
Yes. And so we work through the various departments. There is no department within any organization that does not have a direct impact to the customer, whether it's procurement, whether it's finance, whether it's legal, whether it's the front line, the marketing, IT. None. Nobody works in an organization that does not have a direct impact to the customer.
Yeah.
And so as CX professionals, we work through them in order to deliver the excellent service that we have, that we give to our customers. So definitely collaboration, working together with cross-functional teams plays a big role in that excellence.
Yeah. And just the power of the customer. There's someone who told me, and I thought it sounded so simple but very profound, that the customer is the one who, like, you know, the way you bake a cake. It's the customer who brings this cake. Then all of us are trying to eat from that cake. All right? So sometimes it's surprising how the eaters now forget where the cake, who is the cake,
who's the cake,
yes. Because if this cake leaves, then really your expertise, it's really relevant, right? So that is the importance of a customer. So just encouraging the audience to keep reflecting that anything we talk about, or all our conversations, the businesses that we are in, it's about that customer. And the minute we forget that it's about the customer, that should unify us actually.
Yep.
All of us should be collaborating around this customer. So the minute you feel that you can do it by yourself, then you've lost the plot.
Yes.
Because the cake will slowly move.
That's true.
But even as we talk about serving this customer and making the impossible possible, let's talk about appreciating our customers. And Micheu, you told us a story of how Customer Service Week started, and the whole goal and the intention, the earlier goal was to celebrate the staff and people who were serving customers. So how important is it to appreciate our staff? Do our staff, do they only come in when it's work, deliver, go home? Why? We are already paying your salary. Okay. What appreciation? Hello. We already appreciate you every end month. So isn't it better for us to focus on the customer, the cake? Why again do you want me to appreciate you, Mich? Please let us understand the importance, or speak to us about the importance of appreciating the staff.
Please appreciate me. It's Customer Service Week. At least I expect maybe something.
I have a couple of sweets.
I need
a
them.
cupcake or something.
No, you see what it has done to us. Look, we are all smiling. We are also excited. The fact that we will get that cupcake. Remember, when we are offering service, first thing is that we are human. We're human. And let me tell you, serving customers is intense. It's not easy. It's not easy, and no day is ever the same. No day is ever the same. You have your highs, you have your lows. You have your people in tech who are serving customers. Tech pulls things on you. A lot of things happen on the back end to make sure that those fixes happen. You have your teams on the front line who are either in the retail space, or they're being called in the call center. Some of the people calling you call you as their therapist. You become the therapist. The CX person becomes the therapist, to be honest. Because some of the things that we are told, some of the names that we are called, some of the expectations that the customers have of us. Businesses see bottom line. They see how many sales, how many deposits have we made, how many loans have we disbursed, how are our cards happening. No one thinks about sometimes the loops some of these teams go through to bring those numbers that you're seeing. They don't know the emotional investment that is put in by a lot of the teams that are serving customers. They don't see it. And very few. Those who do, they do it and they get it absolutely right. That's why executive buy-in, executive commitment, executive support is extremely critical. That when your leader knows that and appreciates that and pushes that agenda, then I feel I want to wake up tomorrow and go out to serve. So back to your question, why should we appreciate then our staff or our people? Our staff are our first customers. The first customer to the business is your staff. The same way you would expect to treat an external party from your organization well, it must start with the person that you have employed. You've given them a salary, but also, are you dignifying their lives? Do you have a clue how they even slept the previous evening? How is your work environment for them? Have you tooled them? Do you have the right tools to serve the customers? Have you empowered them to make decisions that, again, will benefit the third party, that is their customer? Do they have the requisite training? Do they have the requisite skills? Are they motivated, to get excited about putting service out there? If you meet that, if you sort out that with that person, believe me, it will be a natural giving service to the external customer. That's why, yes, as I said, this week really is about bringing that awareness to the core, that to let people know that CX is extremely important. And as I said, for me, CX is everybody in the organization. So it should almost be an organization day of celebrating one another. Celebrate your colleague who's in retail. Celebrate somebody who's in technology. Celebrate somebody who is in credit or risk, because they're serving. They're serving somebody. So it's just to bring that to life. And this is why you walk off and bring me the sweets.
Well, at this point, I'm actually thinking I better upgrade.
But
you really convince me.
But that's the primary reason why we celebrate internally. Really, it is like an awareness, almost sort of day. In that check-in. In terms of, okay, guys, how are we? How are we on this journey of serving our customers? How are we collaborating internally? How can I help you? How can you help me in terms of deliver my mandate, so that ultimately the person who is employed us, and that's the customer, is happy and excited.
And I think how you treat your employees is exactly how they're going to treat your customer. It improves their engagement and really gives them a reason to wake up in the morning, as you said, how they slept last night, how they wake up and come, do you know? And so it is good and it's important to have the employees. I don't think there is any human being that does not appreciate appreciation. Right? It may be different forms of appreciation, but at the end of the day, it is human nature to feel good when somebody recognizes you for who you are and what it is that you do. And in return, they will give back, and they'll give back well to you as an organization.
And that's why, the talk now is EX, employee experience, is going hand in hand with customer experience, which gives you your brand sort of experience. Now all of them are being fused, sort of together. And in my organization, you see that now even the teams in marketing and the HR and CX are doing a lot of, work synergistically in order to pop out what the customer is expecting of us. So it's moving away from the silos that that we had, and then now it is becoming, what do you call it? It's becoming now a company-wide. And if you look at the cultures of most of our organizations, we are talking about culture, we're looking at our values and that kind of stuff. It's talking to the internal employee and the external customer.
Great. I mean, for the record, my shoe size is 38. I love color red heels. Just putting it out there, Mich, please feel free to surprise me. And it's customer service week. I will be waiting. I also like black handbags. Diane, please. And do not limit yourself.
Don't limit, right?
Now you understand where the red is coming from. She's wearing her brand colors.
Yeah, those are my brand colors. But you know what I love about customer experience conversations? They are warm.
Yes.
And we connect. Now, before we proceed with a couple of other points, I want to know something interesting about you, please, that does not touch on CX or your work. Yes, so that I can feel connected on a personal level and keep this memorable. So tell me an interesting fact about you, Mich, that most of us don't know. Not the runny thing, we all know that.
I'm quite an open book. I love the rain. I love the smell of good coffee. And I love the outdoors, anything being outside of Nairobi. Yeah, I love that. I do not like Nairobi at all. Nairobi, I'm here because ni shamba la mawe. I have to come and
Toilet
solidarity forever. But if you let me, I'd rather be somewhere with a nice river or stream or a mountain, somewhere just green, smell of rain and good coffee. That's one thing. And then the other thing is also I'm very passionate about boys and boy child and giving back to young men. Yeah, I'm a dad to girls, but I'm like the way we're raising them and they're beautiful and awesome girls. I'm like, who's gonna marry these people? So if I cannot help mold a boy in my lifetime, then I have failed. Yeah. So I belong to a group called the Strong Man Factory. Yeah. So the Strong Man Factory really is about body, mind, and soul. Yeah. So we really emphasize on your personal fitness for you to be there longer. It's about your mind also, and also what you feed in your mind in terms of also, I would say, fellowship with other men, in terms of also getting, to acknowledge God's role in your personal life. So we have daily prayers, as a male group. And then we also have time out to go to Karura. We go out to just enjoy some exercises once in a while. And then also we give back to, let's say, even I would say fathers of the faith in terms as a Christian who are there before and sort of impacted us. So we do pay visits to them almost bi-weekly. We choose a father of faith to go visit and just tap into their knowledge. Yeah. So if that is happening, we are honoring them. Then I also want to give back to other young people. Yeah. So
see, sometimes you just see someone from one angle, but I mean, we are more than the first glance. And that is why I always love to ask this question: what interesting fact about you that we might not know? And that's deep. Yes, Diane. What don't we know about you? An interesting fact.
I think for CX people, when usually that question is asked, you'll find that they like the outdoors. I don't know, maybe it's just a way for us to
run away from people.
Or to expend all of that.
Yes, it's intense.
Yeah, it is quite intense. For me, I love gardening. So I love the outdoors. I'm sort of an introvert, but I like to be out a lot. So I love to garden. It gives me a moment to just be by myself, tender and care for, these beautiful plants and flowers. But I also love hiking. Yes, I really, really enjoy hiking. The process while you're hiking is you always get to that point where you question yourself. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Until you summit. Now, once you summit, then now you get a sense of satisfaction. Depending on how long the going back is, you also ask yourself those questions. But very quickly, you plan the next hike. So I really, really enjoy hiking. In fact, right now, as part of our Britam at 60 celebrations, we are planning to summit Mount Kenya in October.
Wow.
And hopefully to take 60 of us there. Yeah, so far we have about 47 who are quite active, and we've been doing the prep hikes, but we're really looking to do Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya has been something that I've wanted to do for years, and every time that I try, something always comes up and whatnot. But this year I must summit this year.
Wow.
And then hopefully next will be Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro has been calling me too for years.
Call me too.
Yeah.
I've done Kenya 5 times, so maybe I can share
you can share two
with you.
And then we can go to Kilimanjaro. No?
Let it be known, I will not be climbing any mountains.
You can carry the snacks for us.
Not with her red shoes.
Not with the red shoes.
And the black handbag.
That's not happening.
That's not.
Not with the red shoes.
But I like that we spoke about wellness, even in the CX space. You actually do need to take care of yourself. And your hobbies really are just so aligned with what you do. Now, an interesting fact about me, if I did not have to have like a corporate job, I'd really be a musician. I love to sing. I would be in a band.
Okay.
Can you just hold something? You must pay. Okay, paid gigs.
That's okay. It's customer service.
I'll be on the other side of the band. I play bass guitar once in a while.
See?
So there you go. There's something interesting. Right. No, I don't play any instrument.
It's okay. Even clapping is
you can participate. So music is a big part of relaxing me. I connect to music. I truly believe if I had put in a lot of work, I would be a musician out here.
Wow.
So maybe when I retire, this is a retirement plan. You'll be my first invitee for my first gig. All right. So let's talk, we were talking about customer service week. We get so energized. We plan. We do all these things. But there is a question that business usually asks and leadership. And it's an important question. How do we sustain this conversation after customer service week? The initiatives that we come up with. And I know most of us have those that we will not share here because we want our organizations to implement. And Diane might steal a couple of my initiatives.
But it's called sharing.
Sharing is
for the betterment of the customer.
We will share after. But for purposes of this conversation, the great initiatives, and I see organizations going all out during customer service week, and it's fantastic, and we love it. But how do we sustain the momentum and the initiatives so that there is impact, not just for the week, but all through? Diane?
Let customer service week not just be about celebration. Embed customer experience into structures and into systems. That way it's going to be sustainable so that it's not a one-hit wonder during the course of the year. So what do I mean when I say embed CX into structures and into systems? Of course, have CX championed at the leadership level, and where possible, even at the board level. Actually, it should start at the board level. Because that's the highest structure within any organization. So have CX championed at that level where it trickles down. Embed it into all the structures. That means scorecards, for instance, and put it in scorecards not as a punitive action, but as a celebratory action as well. Have recognitions throughout the year so that we're not waiting for CX week only to get you your shoes and whatnot. We can do multiple shoes throughout the year, right? Sport awards are good that you can have there as well. So I think it's just what is it that you can do throughout the year. Make it part of your processes, make it part of your structures, make it part of the way that you do business on a daily basis, and not just wait for the customer service week that you have. Recognition, I've found, as we talked earlier, is one way to keep that excitement and hype around the customer. When somebody does something that is exemplary, don't wait to the award session. Award them and recognize them on the spot. that will make that will continue to empower or motivate and inspire the individual to go above and beyond. And when others also see that they can be recognized, they continue to do that as well. Customer experience is at every level within the organization. So yes, I think put it into the structures.
Which would you like to add to?
Wow, I mean, Diane is so spot on in terms of, I mean, how to drive it forward. And I think a lot of it has come from the fact that we had taken Customer Service Week as our way of buying the heart of the customer for that 1 week. We would give chocolates, we were giving sweets, we were SMSs, we were polishing shoes, you know, we were doing all those things, and the customer was at the corner wondering, okay,
it is possible.
And you actually polished shoes, literally. Didn't you, a few years ago?
And you sit and the customer is wondering, okay, you've pulled all these stops for me today. And tomorrow I come back, I find the sullen face looking at me. I find your process is just so prohibitive. I find the effort to serve is so high. It just goes to your question, how do we sustain it going forward? And it has to start from leadership commitment. That as leaders, as CX professionals, we have to hold everyone to account when it comes to service. And that's really the primary role of the CX division, is really to rally everybody around the customer, and not to be the ones just solving customer issues. Because some of our customer, I would say, excellence divisions and whatever have become complaint departments because everything is swept to the division to sort out. But we need to have that rallying call that it is about all of us. We are all in this journey about customer service. So from the leadership to the division, then how do we push that narrative across the entire organization? Then how do we walk the talk? Because we talk a lot of stuff during service week, we do a lot of talk, but then now we need to sort of walk the talk. And Diane talked about having even those measures. For us, the measures sit in the scorecard, right from the group CEO to the last person in the organization. They have customer excellence matrices that they are measured on. They are reported even to our shareholders. If you look at the first slide that is presented by the group finance director during our AGMs and during our financial reporting, there is a slide there that talks of what are our key measures. There is the financials, and CX sits in there that we measure ourselves. So we have to make sure that this is a daily routine within the organization, and for the leaders to just keep embedding it. For us, our leaders are out there. Apart from just being in a branch today, we do it every single week. I've just come from Nyakach, Sondu. The day before yesterday, I was in Gatundu. Just going onto the ground where our customers are, interacting with them, showing face, and giving executive support to customer-facing teams. That has to continue throughout the year, throughout next year. As long as we have customers, visit them, be with them, talk to them, understand them, and then solution for them.
Wow. I mean, it's beautiful to hear about, and inspirational actually is the right word, these success stories in our organizations. And I know there are organizations out there who are even doing more and better. And this is why such conversations like what we're having today are very important, because it shows you, to you it might look impossible, but someone else has made it possible. And it's possible if actually we put in the work and the dedication and the commitment. And again, back to this theme, we can see how relevant it is. It's not, I think this is one of those themes where you're just not going to talk your way out of it. Because when you talk about the impossible, first of all, you draw attention. Now that is the commitment. Okay. Now the sustainability conversation comes in. How do we involve people? How do we bring our teams? So I feel like this afternoon, we've had such an engaging conversation. And I promise you, I know many people will be impacted and inspired by what the two of you have had to share. It's been such an amazing conversation. I'm just wondering, is there something, a parting shot, something that is in your heart during this customer service week that you'd want to tell us or share with CX practitioners or our customers or the industry? Some insights, a point, a question even. It doesn't mean that we know all the answers, right? Sometimes we can have our aspirational quotes out there. Mm-hmm. So even as we come to the end of the conversation, is there a parting shot from you, Mich?
Wow. I think you've called out the parting point, that no mission is impossible. I think for me that should be critical to all the practitioners out there, that no mission is impossible, and that CX is a way of life.
Yeah.
CX is not an event. So do not make the CX week an event. Let it be a way of life. That for you as an organization and even for your customer. And always remember, the customer is not always right. The customer has rights. So treat them fairly, and treat your teams also fairly. Don't just look externally first. Treat also your internal, your friends, your colleagues, everyone you collaborate with. Treat them also fairly.
There you have it from Mich. Diane, what is your parting shot? Look at our audience and our customers, and our teams. Yeah. We are ready to be inspired.
Yeah. I think for me, the parting shot is don't wait for the perfect environment. Don't wait for the perfect budgets. Start where you are, leverage what you have, but relentlessly design around the customer. All right? Leaders must set the tone by embedding CX at strategy level, but also resourcing for it. And for the employees and staff, you must keep the customer at the center and treat every interaction as a moment to wow the customer, as a moment to safeguard a customer's dream or inspiration, as a moment to emphasize to the customer that you truly are there for them, right? And together, leaders and employees working together then begins to change that mission possible from being this one-time celebration or a theme, to actually a culture that we live.
Wow. Deep stuff. And my parting shot.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
My parting shot is, this was amazing.
Oh.
Okay? I had a fantastic time. And happy customer service week, guys.
Happy customer service week.
Yeah.